quite a few of them have matured, haven't they? You've obviously watched the progress in the last 4 years, Mickey, of some of these guys like Babar Azam, etc.
I've watched Saj from the minute I walked out I left Pakistan cricket. I've watched these boys with a passion, with a lot of emotion, and a lot of pleasure. So I've watched their careers. I don't stop watching them play. When I was coach of Sri Lanka, they were obviously the opponents, but I still watched everything that they did, and felt a real sense of pride and a sense of pleasure that I might have played a little role in their careers, and a lot of them have become superstars, and that makes me very, very happy and proud.
Mickey, you've said that you want, or that one of the targets is to make Pakistan the #1 ranked side in all formats. Now, specifically talking about tests at the moment, they're ranked 6th. What areas do Pakistan need to improve in their test cricket to get up to that top ranking?
We've got to start playing a brand of cricket that's an attacking brand, a brand of cricket that takes the game on. We've got to allow our players to take the game on without recrimination. We've got to allow them to take the game on without fear. We've got to be able to put our opponents under pressure by taking the game to the limit. And I think Pakistan test cricket over the last while has been very staid. It's been very vanilla. It hasn't had an edge. It's almost been a little bit negative, if that's the right word. A safety first option. I want to take that away from them because the talent's there. We can put opposition under pressure if we play to our ability. And myself, Grant, and our support staff are going to keep challenging those players every day to deliver on the world stage, but deliver on the world stage by showcasing their talent, by not being but timid, by being brave and really taking that game on.
Babar Azam, one of the guys who you worked with 4 years ago, he's matured into one of the finest batters in the world, Mickey, and obviously you've got some impact in that because he speaks very highly of you. He's currently captain in all 3 formats. Is that something that you want to take on going forward? Is that a role that you think he should continue in, captaining all 3 sides?
Yeah, look, Babar's progressing. Babar's maturing. I've got a massive amount of respect for Babar. He's a wonderful man. He's a wonderful player. And at the minute, he needs to progress. He needs to learn. He needs to be given the wings to fly in that role. And we'll be there to support him and help him. And in order to make him the captain that he wants to be.
Is it a concern though, Mickey, that we've got a World Cup probably around the corner, and Babar Azam doesn't know that whether he's going to be captain for that World Cup or not?
I don't think so, Saj. I think we've been very clear with Babar in terms of where we want to take the team. So I think he's very comfortable knowing exactly the direction that we want this team to go in.
And Pakistan's chances, if they play the Asia Cup and the World Cup, Mickey, is that two tournaments that you're targeting? How do you rate Pakistan's chances in both of those tournaments?
Saj, we'll go into any tournament wanting to win it without a doubt. I think we don't do ourselves justice if we're not going to be there just to compete. That's out. We're a good enough team to win global events. Without a doubt, we are. And we've just got to give the players the confidence. We've got to give them the backing, and we've got to give them the belief in order to do that. So 100%, I believe we can win those events.
Mohammad Rizwan recently said that he would prefer to bat at #4 in ODIs rather than #5. Firstly, is it right for a player to be making comments to the media about where he should be batting? And secondly, what do you think is his best position in ODIs?
Yeah, that's still a great one for me. Depending on the balance of the team, depending on where we take the side in terms of their roles, we need to just explore that one just a little bit more in terms of finding the exact and best position for the team first, and then Mohammad Rizwan second, because the Pakistan way is all about team first. So it's where best we think we can utilize him, and then giving him a clear role as to what we want from that position, and then letting him go and play it. Look, he's a wonderful player, and he's matured. He's a player that's matured incredibly since I left Pakistan, and he's world class now. So we've just got to find how best Mohammad Rizwan's position fits the team.
Imam-ul-Haq said recently about selection matters. He mentioned a couple of players, Iftikhar Ahmed, Mohammad Haris, saying that they weren't needed in the middle order because it was too late to experiment. Again, is it right for a player to be making those comments? And secondly, Mickey, after he made those comments, he wasn't picked. Was that you stopping his selection, or was that something else?
No, there was nothing sinister around that. He didn't play the fourth ODI because he had an injury, which a little niggling injury, which is why he didn't play the fourth ODI. And we weren't sure that it could clear up sufficiently to pick him in the fifth one. In terms of him making comments like that in the media, I've had a conversation with him.
You're going to tell us what you said to him, Mickey?
No, I'll leave that one between him and me.
All right, okay. All good though. Was he happy with what you said to him?
100%. Imi and I have got a great relationship. He's a wonderful player. He's a wonderful guy. I love him. He's extroverted. He's out there. He's fantastic, and he's just what I need. So let's say there was a lot of love in the conversation and a little bit of bamboo as well.
Mickey, you're working with Haider Ali at the moment at Derbyshire, somebody who you were keen to get over to England and pick him in all three formats. Bit of a shaky start to the season. How do you rate Haider? What does he need to work on?
The reason I brought Haider out was because I've always liked the look of him. And I remember going down to an under-19 practice when I was still coach of Pakistan, and he stood out for me as the next kind of generation batsman. And he excited me. I watched him in the nets, and he really excited me. And I've seen his career just stunt just a little bit. And there's so much talent there. So I brought him over so I can have 6 months with him and make him into the player I think that could play a very prominent role back in the Pakistan team at some point. So the talent's there with Haider, and he's got 250s, and the 250s he got for us were outstanding. They were breathtaking. Some of the shots he hit were amazing. What Haider needs to just learn is just how to manage his innings, how to bat at a tempo that's acceptable, and just to tighten up a little bit in his defensive game. So those are the things that we're working on daily with him. And Haider will return a far better player. And I wouldn't have got him if I didn't believe in him and believe in the talent that he's got.
Mickey, you've worked with most of the guys 4 years ago. Obviously, you've seen them mature, as we've already said, but you must be excited at the thought of working with the likes of Mohammad Haris, Abdullah Shafiq, Ihsanullah, some of the new blood that's come into the setup.
Yeah, when I went over, and I watched them train, and help them train through a session, and Saim Ayub, you put him in there. There's some wonderful young talent, and it's just so exciting. It just boggles your mind as to how you fit everybody in and the brand that you want to play. I'm very excited about those young guys. I really am. I think they each possess a skill. They each possess a talent that's exceptional, and they can play in so many different ways. It's exciting. It's exciting for Pakistan cricket. So no, I'm over the moon. You get guys that can bowl 150. Ihsanullah, you put Haris Rauf, Shaheen Shah, Ihsanullah, Naseem Shah, Zaman Khan, Muhammad Wasim Jr. You put all these guys in the melting pot, and you've got an incredible attack. For us to be successful, we need to get about 8 or 9 of those players and make sure that 8 or 9 of those players are available and ready to play at any given time.
And finally, Mickey, what are the areas that you are setting yourself as targets? You've mentioned about the Asia Cup, the One Day World Cup as well. Number one ranking in all formats. Can Pakistan achieve those under you, Mickey?
100% they can, Saj. Without a doubt they can. The other thing that I want to really target is culture. This Pakistan way is something that I'm very passionate about. It's playing with a brand of cricket that the people of Pakistan can really get behind, that they feel is close to them. It's a brand that takes the game on. It's always team first. I'm going to keep challenging the players on that. It's got to be team first before individuals, and that's something that I'm very passionate about, and something that I'm very tough on, because I think if we get all the players working for team first, it's going to be so powerful that individual records and whatever will all be broken, but we're going to achieve and we're going to have success as a team first and foremost.
And Mickey, just on that individual targets point, some of the players have been accused of putting individual performances and statistics and averages for themselves above what the team requires. Is that something that you can see and a culture that you want to change?
It's not something that jumps out at you, Saj. It doesn't do that, but it is something that I want to make sure doesn't happen. So I'm going to keep challenging the guys every day on team first, on brand of cricket, on role clarity. In a 2020 game, a 40 of 18 balls at the back end is far more valuable at times than a 70 of 64 balls at the top. So we've got to make sure that those little wins, those little achievements that other guys down the order make are being recognized, because then you get buy-in, and once you get buy-in, again I say it becomes a very, very powerful brand.
Well, Mickey, I'm sure I speak on behalf of many Pakistan fans and cricket lovers around the world. It's good to see you back. We wish you all the best for the future, and we hope that you can, together with your team, take Pakistan cricket forward.
Thanks, Saj. So again, thank you. Something, as I say, I'm very passionate, very emotional about it. Pakistan's cricket's in my blood, and I want to see these players do exceptionally well. But above all, I want to see us as a team make Pakistan proud.
Thank you very much, Mickey.
Pleasure, Saj.